Hey, this is Muriel from the Sunshine Family with today's new video where I'll be talking about best places to live in Costa Rica and Costa Rica with children. So if you are somehow searching for information about this, stick to the end of my video, because as an expat mom living in Costa Rica with my husband and two growing up kids, I am here committed to share everything that I have learned, and today I will go deep into the specific area where I live that is super kids friendly if you ask me. So I will tell you exactly where my kids go to school, where we get our groceries, where we go to the doctor, etc. So you can consider if you like this area of Costa Rica safe enough and fit enough for your kids to come visit as an expat, as a tourist, or to live here as an expat. And also I have some general advice. So let me start covering some general tips and impressions about Costa Rica with children, right? So for all parents out there, especially moms like myself, let's dive right into it. Before I'm gonna cover everything that I know, this is the right moment to hit the subscribe button below and hit the bell icon so you get notifications every time I upload a new video, so you can learn everything that I have learned so far. And of course, like the video if you do, and share it with your friends or people you know if you think they can benefit from it. So Costa Rica, what happened? Why did we just decided to live here? Well, because we fell in love with it, because it is so extremely kids friendly. If you think about why Costa Rica is fit to bring your children, is because there is a lot, according to beach life. Right now, by the way, I'm in the beach area of Malpaís at the Peninsula de Nicoya in Punta Arenas. There's a tremendously much to do here, like surfing activities, kayaking, you can fishing, spotting whales, and also especially, for example, in periods of school holidays like right now, there are multiple workshops, because there are a lot of people here living with kids, and they, if they have a job or have to work outside of their house, they're also looking for a place to bring their kids. Thank goodness I work online from home, so I do not have to do that. But just in case you're looking to be an expat here, there's a lot to do for kids. And there's also a lot of yoga here in all the beach areas at the Peninsula de Nicoya, but you find this in every beach area in Costa Rica. So, and what I also love about the other areas in Costa Rica, why it's so fit for kids, is because of the many wild parks. Take, for example, Manuel Antonio, and there are several beautiful national parks where you can spot wildlife. So I always dreamed about showing my kid the world, and especially wildlife. So not that my kids have to go to a zoo to see a monkey, right? That's what I love about Costa Rica. And there's so much wildlife here. There are so many types of monkeys, birds, all different kind of species, like whales. We have whales here just crossing this bay, and and in those wild parks and in those national parks, you can do zip lining, climbing. There are caves. There's just so much to do for everyone. So for every hobby, there is something, right? Ecotourism is also big, because Costa Rica is number one in the world, especially in Latin America, of their eco way of mindset. So they do their very best to use healthy ways of living, basically, and promote that as well. That's also what I think is very good for kids to experience, right? Why I like Costa Rica for kids is because there is a very good health care system here. So whether you are a tourist or an expat, for example, the most popular and good clinic in the capital is Clínica Bíblica. That's a big clinic where from simple checkups to operations. A friend of us, they had their son operated on his kidney. It's an excellent hospital, and there's even people just crossing over the big ocean by plane from the United States here to get way cheaper than in the United States healthcare. So for the healthcare, it's all good here if you're a parent, don't worry. It's all taken care of, and also for emergencies, there is a good care system. We had a couple of times with growing up kids that, first of all, my son had a open knee because of a bike accident. He got stitches at the emergency post here in Santa Teresa. Excellent done. But it's your responsibility to have a good insurance, of course. I do use an expat insurance. I do not know if you're a tourist or an expat what country you come from, but it's important that you look that up so you know exactly what to expect, what you should pay up front yourself, or what's directly covered by your insurance. Let me check where my doggies are. One doggie is here, the other is playing around, so they're all good. What I also want to warn you about in Costa Rica, but that's in general for all countries near the equator, just like Costa Rica, that when you're traveling or living here with kids, the sun is super bright. So of course you should protect yourself with sunblock and use the higher factors to protect the skin. But I think when you're a mommy or a dad, you are aware of it, but it goes way faster here than in other parts of the world, further away from the equator. The sun can be really like straight above the head and very, very intense and strong. What I also like about Costa Rica is that it can be it has different, depending on your what you like best. If you are more like a mountain person, there is a choice to go up to the mountain. Like for example, the area Monteverde is beautiful, but you should not be scared about the little rain because it rains a lot there all year round. In general, there's two seasons, wet season and dry season, but Monteverde there's like rain all year round. But if you love mountains and hiking in a more fresh air, you definitely should check out Monteverde. And basically, in general, my advice is when people ask me, Muriel, how did you find out, how did you decide where to live in Costa Rica? I said, and this is really true, I checked it out. I spent time here. So first of all, my first vacation, we fell in love with Costa Rica. And when you see me moving, it's because I'm standing and I'm surrounded by ants and they bite. But I try to keep on laughing. That's also a thing in Costa Rica. We have insects, we have scorpions, we also have snakes. Yes, we do have animals that bite, but in general, when you use common sense, you do not put your hand in a hole in the ground because there might be a scorpion living there, right? And yes, the ants can bite, but we have like stuff. We have pharmacies here. By the way, what was I sharing? I was going from one point to the other. I think I go a bit fast, but nevertheless, perhaps I'm gonna just leave me a reply about the point that I forgot to cover. But healthcare I covered, insects I covered, animals. Okay, yeah, for kids. Why I love kids? Well, the education, if you're looking to be an expat living in Costa Rica, the education here is excellent. There are multiple schools here to find. And if you have kids in the age that I have, so my youngest is 9 and the oldest is 15, then it might be really important for you to know that you want to pick a school that's international, bilingual, so English and Spanish, and that they have IB. So when they graduate, they can study all over the world without being rejected because the school here, the diploma is not officially, is not official. Right, so we have, and I will just go straight into the area where I live, where my kids go to school, where we have a life, where we do everything. We have a car, we have a quad, we have a house, we have, we have friends, we have restaurants, we have a doctor, we have a dentist. Where are all these institutions, right? So I live in the area, so the Peninsula de Nicoya. Right, you can Google it, Peninsula de Nicoya, Punta Arenas area, Santa Teresa. And I started to live in Santa Teresa, but I moved after a year more inland, closer to Cobano, more inland. That's where we bought land. We figured out how to do it. You can look up on my channel to learn more about buying land in Costa Rica. I'm buying a house in Costa Rica. I'm building a house in Costa Rica. But what we love to in this area of Cobano is because we have an excellent international school there called Futuro Verde. So that's a bilingual school, it's an international school, and it has IB. So that's perfect for our oldest, our daughter Sam, because she has a dream to do education, to get education in England, equestrial education, and with IB, the chances are that she will be accepted. So which will be perfect, right? Why we also like this area, because it's close to 3 important beaches of the villages of the little towns of Montezuma and Cabuya and Santa Teresa, which is to all 3 of the beaches more or less 10 to 15 minutes. So we're straight in the middle. So we're not like isolated at the very furthest point of the peninsula, which we were. We lived at Hermosa Beach, close to Santa Teresa, which is like at the final point of the peninsula, more or less. Beautiful, but very isolated and far away from school. Now, if you wonder, how do you have to bring your kids to school? Yes, you can choose to do it, but there are several bus arrangements, school buses there to pick up your kids from certain pickup spots to bring them to school. So when we were living in Santa Teresa, it was more or less an hour drive in the morning and an hour drive in the afternoon back and forth to school, which was doable for here, but we found out it was a little bit too long. So we were thinking about buying property here anyways. So we decided to move more towards Cobano, near the school. Now we're pretty much 15 minutes close to everything, to school, to 3 types of beaches, which is, I believe, awesome. So we also, what I love about this area, Santa Teresa, Cobano, Montezuma, this particular, hi doggies, this particular spot is, hold on, so welcome to my world. Here are the doggies. All doggies are friends of my doggies, and it's getting sunset. But what I like about this area is that we have a big supermarket. Oh, we have an ATM. Let me put this back in my tripod, which is kind of hard with all doggies playing around me. You know what? Let me sit down here. Perhaps it's even better. What I like about this area is that we basically have everything, but it is a little bit more remote than a lot of people like. Meaning it's not that crowded as in the area. Ooh, is this safe? In area Tamarindo, where a lot of American expats live, with all respect, but who want to live closer to the airport, closer to big supermarkets, closer to everything basically, like McDonald's, Burger King, big companies, which we simply don't have here at the peninsula. So it's more rural, and it is attractive for many surfers here. This is one of the most epic surf spots in the world. And we do have excellent doctors in town. In Santa Teresa we have dentists. I have dentist Marcela, she is situated in Cobano. I have Dr. Gamboa, he is situated in Santa Teresa. And we have the lifeguard in Santa Teresa for emergencies. So for example, when my youngest fell a big hole in his knee. Hi, I don't know this dog, but he's super cute. They're standby 24/7, and they did stitches, which was covered by my expat insurance. So, you know, we have the facilities that we need, but yes, no, it's not on every street corner. No, we do not have a supermarket on every street corner. Most people here live off the road, so we drive for a reason with ADVs, which is something that a lot of tourists love and drive like crazy, but it's really like a must-have transportation for, and here comes the ocean, for many people if you want to drive safe on our bad roads, because we do not have the best quality road. It's also like if you think about pros and cons of Costa Rica, it's a con of living here because having a car can be a pain in the ass because it's just a lot of money to keep the thing going with all the bad roads here. But what we do have is a lot of car mechanics. And there are also, nice to have the dogs play around you when the beach is super large, right? They always play close to me. But look where I am, you know, this is my backyard. So if you think about, we have supermarkets in Cobano, in the beach areas of Santa Teresa and Montezuma. There are many, many supermarkets. The biggest supermarket name in area Santa Teresa is Super Horny. There are 2 of them. And they're a little bit more pricey than the big supermarket in Cobano, which is like the main town of the area where there's a big bank, where there's a big supermarket, where there is more local shops, where in the area Santa Teresa, the town Santa Teresa, it's more oriented to tourists. But also locals live here, so it's kind of mixed. Why I also like Costa Rica for kids is because it's super kids friendly, and why I believe, you know, best places to live in Costa Rica is the area Santa Teresa, Cobano, Montezuma, and Cabuya. Tambor is actually also nearby where you can get the best tuna. It's a harbor and it's also a bay where a lot of whales pass in the whale season. So there is just so much stuff to do here. Whether you are here temporarily, a couple of months per year, you can choose and inform at the local schools here and the international schools. Hola, to have your kid temporarily there. It is possible. I know that there are expat kids here just a couple of months in a year having their education. We have our kids here non-stop because we are here non-stop. We are here. We just left our home country, right? So best places to live in Costa Rica, if you ask me, I like to live remote, right? The peninsula, the Nicoya. Why? Not just because all the reasons that I just shared, but it's a blue zone. It's a special zone. It is a reason that a lot of people get really, really old here. It's one of the 5 blue zones in the world, together with Japan, Sardinia, Greece, California, I think, in the USA, and then the peninsula, the Nicoya. What did I forget? Oh, well, work. Perhaps you wonder, yeah, but I do not, I'm not retired yet. I am a parent, I want to live there. How do you make your living, Muriel? Well, I do work online. A couple of years, I was looking ahead of time what I'm doing now. I always dreamed about working online, living a laptop lifestyle, so I could basically work wherever I open up my laptop, and also to use my smartphone to run my business, which is what I am doing now. And I also know that there's a lot of people working remotely and they have a job that allows them to work remotely. There are people who have a boss situated in the USA or in Canada. I know about architects who work remotely and have a boss, but I just simply do not like a boss life or an employee life. I walked away from it. So if you ask me, how do you do it? Well, I can explain, but that's not the purpose of my video. You can click the second link in the description of my video. Click on it and follow the steps. It will bring you to a video and you can learn more about how I do it, because I learn it from specific marketing programs. So it is possible to work online and create your own economy. But of course, if you are here temporarily or a backpacker, in high season there are jobs to find in restaurants and bars. But like I said, you know, when you have kids and you want to build a strong foundation and just you know, you want to live your life tranquilo here, I recommend working online, and that can also mean working from the beach wherever there's Wi-Fi. So don't hesitate to reach out to me. And also, if I forgot to cover the specifics that you wanted to hear about best places to live in Costa Rica and Costa Rica for kids, I do believe that it's an awesome experience to bring your kids to Costa Rica in general. So don't hesitate, all mummies out there, just do it. And the best way to get to know Costa Rica best as a tourist, but also as an expat parent, is just to take the leap and get here. Pack your bags, don't take too much. You can buy basically everything here, including sunblock and mosquito stuff, and just have your vaccinations done and have a good health insurance, and don't take too much. It's gonna be just stuff that you have to carry, and you don't need that much here. I look forward to meeting you here on the beaches of Costa Rica. So if you ever bump into me, here, just squeeze my arm, say, hey, it's me. And I was happy to serve you with another video. Let me know if it was of any help. I'm looking forward to seeing you in my next video. This was a very long video. I hope it was helpful. Again, subscribe to the channel. Top right button, picture you see below. And well, pura vida from Costa Rica. This was Muriel from the Sunshine family from this beautiful epic beach. Cheers!